Once again, you seem to find yourself at the center of controversy. Do you think that's fair?
Well, you think they'll name a storm after me?
Stephanie, let me ask you this. About a month ago, we asked you if you would talk about your attendance record. You said you didn't want to. Channel 3 then does a report, and you haven't said much. The record speaks for itself. Where have you been? Why have you not been in attendance for many of the meetings? And do you plan to change that in 2017?
Well, let me say, we all know that the Shreveport City Council meeting is the most watched, highest rated program on public access TV. I mean, people are running home to watch it. But the district that I represent, which is District F, my constituents require a lot of direct contact and communication with them. And so that's where I spend the majority of my time, out in the district. I do a lot of face-to-face community and field work in District F. It's a district, the majority of which I have represented for the past 13 years. 10 years on the Cattle Parish Commission, 10 and a half years. And roughly about 2 years on the City Council. My constituents, they know me. I know them. I feel I know what their needs are. They know where to find me. They know when they call, I'm going to be there for them.
You don't think attending the meetings is important?
I think the meetings are important, and I have 100% attendance on items that directly impact my district. Now, could I have attended more meetings? Sure. Should I have? I think that's debatable.
So but where are you? What are you doing?
Well, let me say this is not a one-size-fits-all job. We are part-time. Some weeks, my part-time hours are taken up with district activities. Excuse me. Other weeks, those part-time hours are heavy calls, emergency situations, following up on things my constituents have called me on. But I have a very high needs, high poverty district. The needs are great because the neglect has been so great over the years. And I have to spend a lot of time in the district, as I said, being hands-on, talking with people directly. And so that's what I've been doing.
Let me one thing that people are telling me. They're texting me. Do you work? Is your job in Baton Rouge or New Orleans? Do you work out of town?
That is absolutely not true, and I don't really even know where that came from. I lived in Baton Rouge when I was for a short period of time when I was in junior high school. When my father was chief of police at Southern University, we lived there for a brief period, but that's the only time I've lived in Baton Rouge.
Miss Stephanie, when you tell me that you are having personal, face-to-face contact with your constituents and not attending the meetings, are you by default saying that the meetings are useless?
No, absolutely not. As I say it, for me to be effective, for the district that I have to spend the majority of my time working directly with the people that I represent on issues they need my help with. Now, in this instance,
but aren't those issues being discussed at the meetings?
No.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, please.
The majority of the issues that I have been dealing with the past 2 years, a lot of what needs to be done takes place outside of the realm of the city council meeting.
What does that mean?
I have to get things done outside of the actual city council meeting. The majority of the needs for the people that I represent has to be addressed outside of the realm of the city council meeting.
I know we're keeping you, but you told us about a month ago, and we were talking to you about the garbage tax. The mayor wants to call it a fee, whatever. You said, and I'm quoting, this perfect attendance council should have never put this on the agenda. Well, do you think if Stephanie Lynch had been in attendance at the meeting, maybe that wouldn't have been put on the agenda?
Well, the administration put it on the agenda. I think by some of the action of some of the council members, it was political as opposed to, I think, what was in the best interest of the people. But you can rest assured that my input was given. As you all know, I think Michael Corbin alluded to in his editorial that he did, there's a lot of backroom talk that happens in the back room, but when we get out on the floor, nobody wants to talk about the real issue.
So for 2017, are you going to attend more meetings, the same number of meetings? Are you going to continue to have a laissez-faire attitude about attendance? What's the plan?
Well, no, I don't think it's laissez-faire. I mean, in 2015, I was at many more meetings than I was in 2016.
So why the change?
Because I had to recalibrate my time to meet the needs and the demands of my constituents, which the more, I have...
The demands, pardon me, just to repeat what you said, and then you can clarify. The demands of your constituents are that you don't attend meetings?
No. The demands are that I meet their needs and address the issues that they are calling me about. Now, look, I've been in elected office. I've been elected 4 times. I've been in elected office 13 years, twice as long as any member on that council. I don't really need, I'm not running for another office. I've got 2 colleagues that I understand want to run for mayor. One so-called being groomed to run, and one was running for Congress. I'm not running for some other office. I don't need to use the council meeting for free advertising or to launch a campaign for my next seat.
Your
I am very focused on meeting the needs of the people that I represent. Now, going into 2017, I always reassess, see where I need to improve, and be more effective in my representation, and I will do that at the end of this year. But let me be honest, not one single person from my district has contacted me. They didn't contact me after John Settle wrote about my council attendance back in October, and not one has contacted me about my council attendance from the KTPS story. So I'm not really sure, this is an issue for people outside of my district.
That's what you posted about on Facebook, and you went, I think you talked about Uncle Tom, Oreo. Why did you go so far with that post?
Well, I don't think I went so far. I think I needed to be really clear on what I felt was happening and the reason, the story. I think the story went too far because they created a false narrative about my residency and domicile, and they also created a false narrative about the $15,000 that council members receive being solely tied to meeting attendance.
The term Uncle Tom is rather inflammatory, to say the least, and yet you just said you don't think it was going too far. Who are you talking about?
When I said what?
When you referred to Uncle Tom and Oreo, etc.
I was talking about, take my entire statement in context.
What you were calling someone when you referred to the Uncle Tom or Toms and the Oreo and or Oreos, you had to be referring to somebody, right?
Well, I was clear on who I was talking about.
Would you? I was on vacation that week. Would you repeat it for me?
Well, I don't really have the statement in front of me.
You said you weren't going to kowtow to people outside your district, who essentially went on from there. There was influence outside your district, right?
Yes, I said who. Well, they obviously have influence over KTBS. But I said I was not going to kowtow to the interests of people outside of my district who love. I think I said sell out, Oreo, Uncle Tom as black elected officials. So that's.
So who did you mean? Anybody? Who were you talking about?
What I meant was just what I said. It speaks for itself.
Not necessarily fellow council members, just anybody who was trying to spotlight this.
The sellouts know who they are, and the forces outside my district know who they are. The Oreos know who they are. The Uncle Tom as black elected officials, they know who they are.